Greetings, Starchildren. It's Hemlock Moonwolf, here with you again to share blessings from the earth and the mother which sleeps inside it.
Earth Mother.
Recently, many people have been sending me lots of fan mail, and in those they voice concerns about other alternative therapies. Well, I have to tell you, if it's not coming from Hemlock Moonwolf, then it's probably dangerous. So I'm here to clear things up and to offer an actual effective way to treat these ailments that you might have. Shall we begin? Today we're talking about a very dangerous practice by the name of intravenous hydrogen peroxide, or IV hydrogen peroxide. It's a therapy that involves mixing a small amount of hydrogen peroxide and saline and giving it as an intravenous injection into the human body. For those longtime viewers of me, you know that I don't support any type of injection except when it comes to insemination and the beautiful act of lovemaking. However, that isn't to say that sometimes, in medical emergencies, injections can be bad. However, injections done for a recreational, holistic approach are probably bullshit. The main claims, such as Montrose osteopath Dr. Yoshi Ram have, is that this treatment does the same thing inside your body as it does on the outside. It kills things, such as the infection that you currently have or those unhealthy cancer cells you currently have. The problem with this being, of course, that any type of basic chemical cannot target or differentiate which is or which is not harmful to the human body. The chemical reaction that makes hydrogen peroxide work as an antiseptic is not necessarily going to be the best thing to put directly into your bloodstream. The reason that hydrogen peroxide fizzes as soon as it comes in contact with the body is because most living cells contain the enzyme catalase, which attacks it and turns it into water and oxygen. Now the problem with this is, of course, that this in effect destroys cellular walls, and hydrogen peroxide has no mechanism to differentiate between healthy cells and harmful bacteria. In fact, it's shown to be extremely dangerous at times. There was a poor woman who was treated in South Carolina in 2004 for multiple sclerosis. The coroner concluded after she died that the hydrogen peroxide injected into her bloodstream produced bubbles in her blood, which led to multiple organ failure and cardiac arrest. Additionally, after the treatment, she complained of abdominal pain and nausea, but she went home and returned to the clinic 2 days later, this time extremely weak, with bruising at the infusion site and severe vaginal bleeding. Dr. Short then ignored these clear signs of acute hemolytic crisis, did not order any blood work up for her, and did not refer her to another physician. 2 days later, she arrived in the emergency room and died. But Hemlock, I hear you say, that's obviously just one wild card out of possibly thousands, and may be. But it doesn't take away from the fact that this woman put her trust in someone who did not know what they were doing, and she died screaming as her organs slowly shut down and her blood was poisoned. Coupled with that, it's expensive. This has become a fad in Southern California, and treatments often cost more than $100 a session. For instance, let's take a look at this one person, Mercedes Coran. She's 28 and has multiple sclerosis. Now, since being diagnosed with this, she's gone to see Dr. Ram. She spent about $2,000 so far on these treatments. Now, keep in mind, this is a very ill young woman who's being taken advantage of by this poser of alternative medicine. There is absolutely no guarantee that this will work. In fact, Dr. Ram acknowledges there's no scientific proof that it works. Honestly, I would say no. There's not like solid medical evidence behind it, Ram says. Those studies haven't been done, yet it does not deter him from doing it himself and profiting off of it wildly. Next, we're going to look at a video by Dr. Richardson of the American Clinics of Preventative Medicine.
Do you know anyone who has Candida? How about shingles, colds, flus, bacterial and viral infections?
Now you might be thinking, isn't it convenient that he listed some of the most common ailments that might affect a human being? And you'd be right. But obviously, he's just trying to be inclusive. It's not like, for instance, Candida has been built up as a fake illness, given that Candida is a fungus that colonizes about 90% of the human population, but is not an infection, it's just simply there and present in the body, save for at times during stress or immunocompromised systems, whereupon it might manifest as something like thrush or vaginitis, also known as a yeast infection. However, since 1986, after a bullshit publication, The Yeast Connection, by the aptly named Dr. William Crook, the Candida epidemic has been promoted by pseudoscientists all over the world as this is a serious problem and you need to be treated, aka, give me money.
Well, there is a great therapy called IV hydrogen peroxide. That is intravenous pharmaceutical grade hydrogen peroxide given in a nice low dose that goes into the body and works with enzymes within the body to set up chemicals that fight bacteria, viruses, helps decrease the effects of shingles.
That's not how any of this works. As stated before, it literally cannot work that way. Intravenous hydrogen peroxide cannot magically know what to target. It will affect all cellular biological material that it comes into contact with. The only thing sparing massive internal organ damage is the fact that it's so diluted. Fascinating. Let's look a little closer at Dr. Richardson and the American Clinic for Preventative Medicine. As you can see by looking at the main website, it's basically another cookie-cutter style clinic. They sell services, chelation, IV therapy, classes and events of course, and oh look, obviously there's going to be a shop. This is something that's been pointed out many times before, but this is not a doctor's office. This sells services and products. This is a business. Taking a look at the shop, we've got various different, cancer treatments, cellular and organ detoxification, and of course, your favorite and mine, they sell coffee enemas. Now, while Dr. William E. Richardson is in fact a medical doctor, it's important that at the bottom of the About page, we read the disclaimer. The statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products and therapies are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Consult with a healthcare professional before starting any diet, supplement, or IV therapy program. American Clinics for Preventative Medicine makes no guarantee or warranty with respect to any products or services sold. Consult with a healthcare professional. Aren't you a healthcare professional? As is painfully obvious, these people do not have the best of intentions at heart when it comes to your health. Because of that, I, Hemlock Moonwolf, am here to give you the best advice I can. You see, hydrogen peroxide absolutely can have magical healing benefits. You can get our sacred mixture over at healingwithhemlock.com. Healing with Hemlock. But for an example of how this can be used, I'd like to show you a way in which you too can treat yourself for some of the ailments using hydrogen peroxide, but without having to inject it into your bloodstream. After purchasing the sacred mixture from the healingwithhemlock.com store, make sure and have an appropriate sacred receptacle. Say a prayer over the bowl to the Earth Mother before receiving the magic liquid. Careful now, don't spill a drop. After that, paying respect to the four corners of the earth. Casually and very slowly disrobe. For males, this will entail you completely stripping down, and then, so very slowly, insert your testicles into the warm fluid. For those imbued with the sacred feminine instead of masculine, we have a treatment option available to you as well. Prepare much smaller vessels, one of each, and hold them against your energy spouts. For an extra pro tip, when doing this therapy, make sure and do it with a friend, but probably not a family member. I hope that this alternative therapy can be a benefit to you and to those that you care about. As always, I am Hemlock Moonwolf, here to give you blessings of the Earth Mother. And I will see you in the next video. Namaste.